Kent, you have a birthday coming up in like next month, right? Month and a half?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, it's a special birthday.
It's
Because
not really.
I have this very special birthday as well later in August.
Why would you call it a special birthday? It seems like kind of it's a non-event.
Because you get a nice little nap and
They're
they,
going to put me down?
you know,
What's that gesture you're doing with your hand? Wait, full hand?
actually, no, that they don't do that, huh?
No, listen, I don't know which doctors that have been bracing you for a colonoscopy, but I think they just do the camera, right? Or do you get the hand?
Just how like they used to do it on the farm.
They get the VHS recorder. And they're like, hold on, let's just kind of fit it right there. Oh, that polyp right there. We gotta fix that.
Yeah. Oh,
That's how we're starting the show. Yeah, no, it's true. We both were of the same age.
yeah.
And it is the birthday to dread. And I mean,
45.
everyone at this age, no matter where you are, like I'm probably going to have to get a mammogram as well. Let's be honest. I know, right? It's like, I need to work on this a little bit, but it's just that time to be like, oh yeah, I should kind of check myself out just to make sure we're good, right? It's just important.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't actually think that colonoscopy itself is terrifying. I think I
Well,
struggle
you're asleep.
I struggle with two things: setting the appointment, because I hate making appointments, and also what has to happen for a day and a half before.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like that I'm nervous about, because if you've listened to us in other iterations of podcasting,
Indeed.
you will know that you and I have bowel issues, right?
Well, yeah, but what would that have to do with this?
Well, okay. So I had my physical today,
Oh,
right?
you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I
Which
ask you a question? Before you have a physical, are they like checking your blood and stuff? Do you eat more vitamins and nutrients? Do you purposely eat better before?
should.
Yeah.
Yesterday, well, so Monday was my appointment. Yesterday was Sunday, which was also Greek Easter. So I
Okay.
was chock full of spanakopita, tiropita, milopita, spaghetti, and brown butter and mazithra. So
I
they're
didn't know what
probably
three of those things were, but they sound delicious.
basically, it's probably going to come back that I'm diabetic.
You have insane amounts of some sugar,
Yeah, like
of all the wrong sugars.
you have a lot of iron.
You're like, hey,
Are you Popeye?
you're like, give it 3 days because it was Greek Easter. I'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah. But no, I've done that. Well, it's kind of. I also had a dentist appointment today too, right?
Wow, you were
And
just taking care of all the crappy stuff.
yeah, and I also
Yeah.
had a funeral, but that's a whole other story.
You're like, I'll one up ya.
You know what was sad though?
The funeral?
Well, yes, okay. No, my Aunt Betty, like bless her heart, she was the sweetest lady. She was 93.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
When we
Okay.
went to go say goodbye to her, first thing she said, I'm 93. I'm ready to go.
Right.
You know? So, like, how can you be overly sad at a funeral?
It is always one of those things where it's like, oh, your grandparent or relative, and it's like they're in their 90s, and everyone goes, well, I'm still sorry, but less now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The sad thing is because I had my physical, I had to go in fasting.
Well, yep.
So I wasn't able to be consoled by funeral potatoes.
Okay. Let's run that back. You need to do the funeral again.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think after we're done recording here, I'm just going to go make some funeral potatoes. I mean, it will probably be about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Sure.
Midnight potatoes. That should be a
My
thing.
favorite kind.
I need to be consoled today.
Yeah, what a day.
Yeah. But yes, like with my dentist appointment,
Yeah.
like I kind of laugh because, I have sensitive gums
Yeah.
anyway, like they'll bleed or whatever.
Sure.
And I apologized because I'm like, well, one, I'm fasting today because I have a physical after this. But then two, I'm like, I think I brushed my teeth a little too hard, and my my gums were, like, just bleeding, and so I'm like, "Have fun cleaning them."
Yeah.
I feel like we all do that with the dentist, right? Like, we feel like a good scrubbing will
Yeah.
hide our sins for the last 6 months, you know?
It's
Like, "Oh, yeah,
it's
I floss."
my entire life, I flossed the night before, and then they're like, "Do you floss?" I'm all, "Clearly," and
Mhm,
they're like swollen gums from the night before. Same thing with the physical. Do you eat vegetables? Yeah, you can see some in my teeth. Is that the first
mhm.
time you've had them in 4 months?
No,
Potatoes? Do potatoes count?
they should,
Yeah,
especially funeral potatoes.
covered in cheese.
Mhm. It's the way God
No,
intended it.
listen, maybe this should be something that we work on together. Maybe we should schedule appointments relatively closely so that we can be like drunk buddies together, like
Ooh,
post-op,
ooh.
right?
Yeah.
That
I
could be
like this
content.
idea.
Yeah.
I love this idea because I had my throat stretched finally
Oh,
a couple months ago.
did you?
Yeah, I did, and
Okay. Have you been choking on things a lot more, or is that just
yeah, like,
okay?
basically, the doctor came out and like, "Yeah, it was pretty swole," like and, of course, I'm still coming out of the anesthesia, and I'm like I'm sitting there and like, "So does that mean that I can, like, swallow a hot dog whole?" Or Ian's just like, "Stop it."
Listen, that may need to happen for me because I, at work a couple weeks ago, I choked on one sour Skittle. I just
A
threw it.
sour Skittle.
I threw it back,
Mhm.
went down my esophagus, and just stayed there because like I choked it in because of the sugar. And for 30 seconds, I wasn't breathing, and everyone at my work just watched me. They just watched me, and I was like, that was my breathing.
You're still working with Joel, right?
Yeah, he made fun of me. He goes, "Hey, you can't handle your sour," and I went, uh. And then he felt bad. And then he said, and I said this story before, but basically he said, your obituary would have been hilarious. It would have said, he died doing what he loved, eating sour candy, which is so true.
It is so true. I mean, gosh, the field trips that we would have down here to to South Jordan, right?
Yeah.
It was always going
Uh huh.
to the gas station, and
Absolutely.
you would get your special little Mountain Dew concoction
Yes. Uh huh.
and
With the
sour
squirts
candies.
and sour candy. I've
Yep.
cut it back a lot on sour candy because I'm trying to treat my body a little bit better,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I can't resist.
You know, um, I was gonna say, like, yeah, you better stop eating sour candy right before your colonoscopy. I don't eat a lot of candy.
No, listen, my body, and I don't get sick very often, but my body is made up of Mountain Dew and gummy bears. So, like, I think that's why
Mhm.
sickness doesn't affect me because I'm just synthetic at this point. I'm like a
I
gummy cyborg, right?
That checks. Yeah.
I mean, if you poke my tummy right now, it's like, yeah, are those abs or are those several gummy worms? Yeah,
Yes. I actually I actually really do love gummy bears.
yeah.
Like, are you a Harboro, or are you any kinda gummy kinda
I
thing?
grew up on Haribo, is what I like
Or
to
is
call them
that how you
because
call it?
no, it's Haribo, but I like saying Haribo because it sounds like they're south of the border. When really, in all actuality, they're German, but Albanese.
Haribo.
Nine Albanese
How do you
are
reconcile that with your Jewishism?
well. Listen, my middle name is a German town, so I just have to
Mm,
find balance there.
yeah,
A little
yeah.
self hatred and a little victimization. That's how I
It
roll.
balances out.
So ridiculous. Josh, thanks for having me on the show again.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I forget that we introduce this show. We didn't on the other show,
Yeah.
but
Do
yes,
you
welcome.
introduce guests? Is
Kind
that what
of.
you do?
Well,
Okay.
kind of. I mean, everybody knows who you are. But yeah, welcome to the Best Darn Podcast Show.
Yeah. I mean, the best podcast around.
Yes. Yep. Better
Yeah.
than most and
I mean,
all,
and I
except for
have
bacon
another one.
salad.
So, listen, we can call it the best right now. It's fine. The other guys
Yeah.
aren't here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't need to
Um,
know.
there's so much we haven't talked about, and I feel like not having the other show right now,
Mm-hmm.
I I see gossip come around, and I'm like, yeah, I really like to talk to Josh about this. Really, I should just reach out to you and be like, can I be your gossip minute? Can I be your gossip guy?
Seriously. The thing is, I don't see why we have to be limited to, like, 1 episode of the Best Darn Podcast Show, like, a week. What's stopping, like, you and I from just recording periodically when we have some
Well,
time to just chat like, the chatty Nancys we are?
you should probably talk to Blue about that before, so we
I'm
don't.
sure he's fine. He's on vacation in New York. He's happy.
He's back in New York. He loves that
Mhm.
place.
Oh, he does.
What's he doing there?
Vacationing. Like, I
Well,
think well, obviously,
does he do like Broadway? Does he do? I'm sure he's done the tourist stuff already.
he's done a lot of them. I think he's still, like he does a lot of he kinda does what I do with places that I love. Like, I
Mhm.
always leave something big to do when I come back. Like, it gives
Okay.
me incentive to do that because I've done that with San Francisco. Like, I haven't done Alcatraz yet,
Yeah, neither.
and that's kind of been my motivation to get back to San Francisco, even though it's been, like, 15 years.
Yeah. It's by the way, it's worse.
I know. I'm like, "Yeah, do I really wanna dodge poop?" You know? Like,
San Francisco. How much do you want to dodge poop?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's yeah, unofficial motto. But, yeah, he loves, like, he loves just that there's something different around every corner,
Is it
and
is it like, kind of like he would like to be a local there, or he really just loves feeling small in a big city?
I think he's said that he could move there. I
See,
don't think he ever would,
I think
but
we all wish that we could live in New York for about 8 months, but
mhm.
that's about it. Just so we can be like, "Oh, I lived in New York." You mean me? I took the I took the 8 train downtown or whatever, and it's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we get it."
Would you be a snooty New Yorker, or would you be more like Brooklyn where you're like, kinda, crass or like, the big New Yorker, like, "I'm Kenny." You're not Kenny D anymore.
Yeah, right?
"I'm Kenny the Dun." You know?
No,
I don't know.
listen,
Sounds like a mobster name, Mafio, you know?
I hate to say it. I would die within 2.5 weeks if I lived there. When I
Yeah.
went, this last fall, I was out at Times Square at 2:30 in the morning riding a city bike and just in the road because there weren't a ton of cars at that point. I think it was a Sunday night, and I was like, "I wanna ride a bike in the middle of the road." And I did, and I almost died a few times, but it was the best because I had my music playing, and I felt awesome, and Times Square is the dirtiest place on earth, but,
Were you dodging poop?
yeah, basically, yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, New Year's Eve, I know that people are because they wear diapers.
yeah. So, for me, like, New York is not a place I'd ever want to live. It's a
Mhm,
place I'd want to go a lot, but, like,
mhm.
of all the US cities, like, Boston would probably be a better place for me, right?
Have you been to Boston
Yeah,
before?
I love Boston.
Yeah, I love Boston as well, like,
Yeah.
I would love to go back out there. The only thing I don't like about Boston is that it's too forested,
Oh,
like
okay.
and this is the Utah in me, right?
Yeah, go on. You like the
Like,
deserts?
well, no, like,
You like
the
knowing where you're
mountains.
going?
It's the
Yeah,
mountains,
yeah,
right? Like, I feel like I know where I'm going when I see the mountains. And it used to just be, like, the Wasatch Mountains when I was living in Bountiful because I knew nothing about out here by the Ochre Mountains, right?
yeah,
Like,
right.
I didn't even know that I thought the houses went, right up to the mountains, but no, they're still building out here, right?
Wow.
Yeah, like, my
Yeah,
even when I got married, there were I drove out there to see what was there. I saw antelope. I don't get
yeah,
out much.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Are you afraid of antelope? Are they like a kinder deer or more aggressive deer?
That's kind of what I had to tell myself is that they're kind of a kinder deer.
Okay.
I'm still looking to I wanna find a jackalope, but,
Hey,
they're kinda
as
hard to
fast can be,
find.
you'll never catch me.
Yeah,
So,
true.
yeah, listen, just bring me on whenever. We can talk, cancel bachelorette seasons. We can
Oh,
talk whatever. I'm in.
yeah, my wife is still rather bummed about that. I don't know. I'm curious because I'm like, I wonder, was the tipping point for canceling The Bachelorette? Was it really that one element of Frankie, whatever the face, whatever her last name is?
Yeah.
Or was it just such a bad season of The Bachelorette that they're like,
I
yeah,
I
let's just
think
scrap it.
I think they were okay airing the bad season because every clip I saw was like the male contestants, the ones trying to win her over, were like,
Hmm.
I don't know if I can deal with her temper. Like she's really upset with us right now. And every clip was like her being mad, being like, you have a past, I have a past, we all have past. And clearly, like she chose someone by the end, but they didn't stay together. And this guy
Hmm.
wants the season to air because he wants clout, right? He wants to be
Yeah.
big on the next version of Bachelor in Paradise. I truly think it was the video release, which obviously was held back until a pivotal time. But then it wasn't even the video because even after video aired on social media, ABC was still broadcasting and putting out like tweets about the show.
Hmm.
It was when sponsors pulled. Sponsors pulled because of the
Of
video, which
course.
so it was video's fault, but it's truly where the money spoke. And like people will hate us, and now we won't be paid. So let's
Hmm.
scrap the whole thing. And they're still losing money.
Yeah.
So listen, ABC, I got you. I got you. You need a silver bachelor? You know, I will get in slight shape for a hot tub night. You
Slight
know,
shape.
yeah, we can go to
So
Kern.
that means that you'll stop eating gummy worms for like 2 days.
Listen, I am drinking Body Armor right now, not a sponsor, instead of a Mountain Dew. I mean, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
getting a
he's
Mountain Dew right
ready.
after this
He's single and ready to mingle.
with 30 lucky contestants,
Yep.
all going for clout.
Yeah, it's such a train wreck. I get sucked into it, and I don't know. I mean, I am kind of bummed not to see this season, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm just done
I
with
feel, yeah.
the Mormon housewife stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if that's in jeopardy too. I'd be really curious.
Well, and it feels like it because I mean, I've heard rumors, and by rumors, I mean my wife has told me that
That's all you need to know.
like one of the girls is trying to kind of break off and do her own thing,
Okay. And she might.
and she should,
Yeah.
right? Let's kill this thing because
Right.
there's nothing that's representative of Mormonism in this, you know? Like,
No. My goodness, no.
but at the same time, like this is what Hollywood does.
Hmm.
They've been fascinated with LDS culture and the church and everything pretty much since was it Real World with
Yeah.
Julie what's her face,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
Because I mean my brother Ben has worked in reality TV and the entertainment industry for, almost 2 decades I think. Like his agent will send him all of these, casting calls where they're looking for members of the church that, to put in these dating shows or whatever because they love the contrast
Yeah.
of like real world situations and, the cultural upbringing and it's I don't know. It's fascinating to see it. It's nothing new.
Hmm.
It's just this is probably, hopefully, the peak of it.
Or at least it will bring back and purity sounds like the wrong word because there's nothing pure about
No,
TV or reality TV. It's
no.
all processed. But at least, back in the day with like American Idol and stuff like that, when it was just like, hey,
Mhm,
here's a suburban kid doing his best instead of being like, yeah, this chick is famous because she gets wasted and beats up her boyfriend,
mhm.
or they're swingers. Like
We need more Benson Boones. That's what we need.
listen, oh, what was that? I just heard 37 guys backflip into the spotlight. So I like that that's what he's.
I know. I know, I love it. I didn't even know who Benson Boone was until, like, 18 months ago, so
Oh, okay. Okay. We need to brush up. That's why we need to talk more.
yeah, I
Listen, if you
know.
if you lived a little bit closer, or if I was less lazy, I would be hanging out with you. I'd be hanging out with Marianne, but we would catch you up on all the gossip.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I'd allow it.
Yeah, I just really want to be there for ambient nights. So I miss the stories. That said, we can talk about this another time. I know we have stuff we kind of planned
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we did. We kinda planned some
if we want to get
stuff.
into that.
But yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm like, yeah, Ambien. I took some Ambien last night, and
Yes.
yeah, I think I showed you the video where like I don't take Ambien as very regularly. Only if
Okay.
I need, like, if I'm not sleeping well, I'll take it once in a blue moon because it will knock me out pretty
Yeah.
much right away. But then my wife, being the lovely, supportive woman that she is,
Mhm.
will take it upon herself to make sure that she can get dirt on me by recording conversations and whatever she can get out of me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm this one's actually pretty funny, but I'm not gonna like I did swear. I'm not gonna say the swear word, but I am somewhat of a poet, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay.
And I'm kind of a closeted, poet, right? Like it's like one of those things that like you just don't go out and tell somebody you're like, yeah, I write poetry,
My
right? Like
subconscious is really deep, by the way.
yeah, like I'm a very deep, yeah, very, yeah. I think a lot. So it's just not something that I go out and do. It's just like if I feel something, an emotion, whether it's, spiritual, temporal, whatever it is. And one of the other things too is like I love taking my poetry and then making it into like AI songs or whatever, right? And because I'm not a musician. I don't know how to read music, but like I know how to compose, your structure or whatever as far as words go. And I wrote this primary song because I'm like I wanted to like write a primary song that we could sing for the primary program, right?
What?
And it was a banger, man. Like it was called Choose Him Again, right? So
Okay.
about choosing Jesus again, like, the premortal life, like
Mhm.
we
Here we
chose
go.
him, he chose his plan, and then choosing him again when we get baptized, right?
Okay.
Perfect, like everything, right? So I found out not that long ago that somebody already wrote that song.
Same title, same sort of thing?
Not the same chorus. Mine was
Mhm.
better. Mine was better,
Yeah.
but it was Angie Killian or Shauna Edwards. I can't remember. One of those popular people who've been in primary know who I'm talking about. And I took my Ambien, and Marianne's sitting here talking to me, and she coaxed me into these things, right? Because she knows that I'm just gonna say whatever's on my mind. And I just go into this whole tirade about Shauna Edwards stealing my song. I'm like, she is such a
You got beef. Let's just say
I
you got
got
some
beef.
beef,
I got beef with Angie Killian,
but it's like
right?
it's deep down, right?
I'm like, you stole my song like 3 or 4 years ago.
It's all right. I got beef with Michael McLean, so it's fine.
I think we all do. I love I do, like, there is a part of me that I love the forgotten Christmas carols, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, there's a reason why we forget him, because if you play it more than once every year, you're like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah. It's
That's I
fair.
know.
It's fair.
And I know everybody out there, I mean, we're all on different levels of that, and
I wonder how many people listening are like, "Wait, what? Is this
I
some
know.
local thing?" It's like, "Kinda,
Yeah, kind of.
sorta."
Like, go ask one of the Mormon housewives.
Because 'Cause they're gonna know.
I
They'll
mean,
be like, "Shauna Edwards, is that a flavor at Swig?" "Yeah, actually. It's delicious."
be a peachy lime. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. No, that would be my drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to be careful. I have to be careful with my Ambien around Marianne. And at least Marianne, like, I'm used to it now,
Yeah.
but it's so funny. Like, I know, like, when she's on her Ambien because she gets kind of a flush, like, face,
Yeah.
and then she'll kind of dance. She'll
Okay,
kind of go
okay.
like this. She'll kind of dance, and then she'll graze like on whatever's in the kitchen, right? So she'll be sitting here eating like wheat thins and like you're on your Ambien. No, I'm not, honey. You are. Like let's go to bed. Well, I need to stay up and watch the Golden Girls.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't wanna do that, though? Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you drink Monsters or Red Bulls?
Probably more monsters. Like I'll,
'Cause
I'll have an occasional Red Bull.
I know you're a big energy drink guy. Are you still?
I actually had this conversation with my dentist today. Not my
Yeah.
doctor, not my doctor, my dentist,
Well, when your teeth are wearing
because
away, for sure.
I bring him an energy drink, like, every time I go to the dentist, right? Because and then he recommends energy drinks, like, we're both kinda closeted Alani, energy drinkers.
Okay, I've never
It's
had it.
like, um, yeah, he's like, "I love them. They taste great." But he's like, "They're all frou-frou, kinda girly, like, cans." He's like, "I can't be rolling around like that." He's like, "I have to put it, I have to put it in, like, my tumbler or whatever and drink it." I'm like, "I'm actually the same way, dude."
Well, so yeah, last night, my 16-year-old, she has a boyfriend,
Mhm,
and he comes over. Yeah, it's been a while, and he's like, "Hey, you want to try some Monster?" And I was like, "I'm not really a big fan." He's like, "This one's from England," and it was like, I don't know the name, but he had me try it. It's like peachy. I'm like, "Oh,
mhm,
that's pretty good." And anyways, hour or two goes by, and they're nowhere to be seen. And I'm like, "It's garbage day," like the next day. So I'm picking up stuff off the kitchen table, throwing it in the garbage, whatever. And I had 2 bags of garbage, and I run them out to garbage can, roll it out to the street, leave it
mhm.
there, and then, like, literally 5 minutes later, my daughter and her boyfriend come back inside, and they're like, and he's like, I could tell he's looking around for the can of the Monster.
No.
And I was like, "Sorry about that." Like, I made sure I checked to see how much was in there. It was only a little bit. I'm like, "So I tossed it. I hope that's okay." There really wasn't that much left, probably backwash.
He
And
keeps the
he
cans.
Yep. And he goes, and I go, "Oh," and that's what I said. I said, "Was there, do you," and he was like, "Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay." Cause he's a kid, right? "It's okay.
Mhm.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it." And of course, I'm like, "I'm really sorry. I should have not cleaned my house after you guys left mess on the table." I was just like, "Listen, it's right on top of the garbage. It's right on top. I just barely put the bags out there. I'm gonna go grab your can."
You did.
Yeah. And cause I threw it out.
Dumpster diver done.
And of course, he's like, "No, you don't have to do that. I promise you don't. I don't care. I don't care. I can just get one next time I go to England." And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
That
Yeah. And so then, of course, my daughter's like, "Dad, please do it. Please do it." And I'm like, "Yeah." So I go out there.
I'd make your daughter do it.
I should have. It's dark.
Mhm.
And I go to like the bag that I threw it in. I was like 90% sure I threw it in there. And I'm like combing around, and I'm like, "Okay, crushed Coke can." And I'm like, "I don't see a Monster," because they're taller cans. I'm like, and I'm looking around for like 2, 3 minutes, and I'm like, "I don't actually see
Then
it."
your neighbor comes out with a shotgun. "The raccoons are back."
Well,
The
I'm munching on
raccoons.
something. I'm munching on buffalo wings. So, anyways, he's like, "I swear it's okay. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "Okay, sorry, man. I tried." So he goes home. I could tell he's probably a little disappointed because he keeps the empty cans. Midnight hits, and all of a sudden, Jiminy Cricket's like, "Well, we go back out there and try to," it's Jimmy Stewart, by the way,
Gosh.
"go to try to try to find that can." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that means I have to put pants back on, and it's raining." And I'm like, "Whatever." So I go out, t-shirt, pants, slip on shoes, and my phone flashlight, and I'm out on the street. And I got the full big old garbage can lid open, and I open these 2 bags, and I'm like kind of rifling through, and I was like, "Okay, why don't I see this? This is crazy." And then I look over, like, down the hill, and I'm on this hill, and there's a car coming up. So I'm not gonna be the weirdo with the flashlight looking in the garbage. So I run back up my driveway, and I duck down and behind the front of my car, my flashlight.
Was it a cop car?
Oh, it could have been. I don't know. I was hiding. I was saying so still, and so as soon as he passed, I run back out there and I check both ways. Okay, no one's looking except for
Dude,
my
you are the
neighbors.
raccoon.
I am such a raccoon. And then I'm like, "You know what? All I can do here, instead of just digging put my whole arm in the garbage, is just overturning the bag into the garbage," because it was like filled to the top basically,
Mm,
but just unloading. And I'm doing that. I like pour it upside down as I'm rifling through. And I forgot that there was so much kitty litter that I put in this garbage,
no.
plus Chinese food, plus
No.
just I mean, just the worst. And so I am like, "Who cares? You're gonna find this. You're gonna wash this can. You're gonna take a big shower after this. Like, you're gonna find it." And I went through these 2 bags, and there was cat hairballs in there. I mean, I got to a point where I felt like it was all I was breathing in, and I do this, you know me, and it was 12:30 and I'm dry heaving on a dark, rainy night.
I feel like you love your daughter's boyfriend more than she does.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
And that sounds so wrong saying that. I'm just
Yeah,
waiting for
he's a
Chris
good
Hansen
kid.
to come into the room.
Take a seat. Yeah, and so, it was 10 minutes, and I gave up. I could not find it. I said, "I'm just gonna order him one off online." Like, I'm just getting one from from Europe.
You walk inside and it's like on the counter on the other
It's
side, right?
literally what I expected because this can was nowhere to be seen in either of these bags. And so I think the universe was playing a little cruel joke.
Have you ever collected things like this? I know Spencer did, or
Yeah,
spent
Spencer
like,
collected Mountain Dew cans, right? Were they empty or were
yeah,
they full?
I think both.
Okay.
By the way, we were going to try to get Spencer on here, but he already sold his podcasting equipment.
True or false? Do you think that was true or false? You're gonna take
False.
Yeah. It's like he sold his microphone that cost him $70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
listen,
nobody sells a $70 microphone, that you use for what, 2-3 years. Like it's sitting in your office.
he remembered how much we hassled him about his sound levels, and he realized he didn't
Yeah.
want to deal with that again. Yeah,
Love you, Spencer.
I know. He's not listening.
I know he's not listening. Nobody does.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
listen,
some people from Ukraine. I don't know, but
yeah, a
or
lot.
Japan. But
So we did plan stuff. Do we just want to like save it, or do you want to go into just like
well,
little
we're 30 minutes into this. I think
little mini quiz?
we should do a little mini quiz here.
Okay, so it's a little bit of background. Previously on the other show, when Josh and I would have opportunities like this where it was just the two of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'd recount our childhoods, and as background, if you never listened to the other show, Josh and I were meant to be best friends. We just happened to live 15 minutes away from each other. So that was like long distance, right?
Such long distance.
But
Because
like
I wasn't
truly,
gonna walk. I wasn't gonna walk that far.
no, but like I came in your area all the time. Guaranteed I've seen you in life several times, and we just never connected until, you know, fate brought us together.
Mm-hmm.
Fat fate, whatever. I don't know. So we like basically like we both love everything 90s. That's the era
Mm-hmm.
we grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if people know the name of your podcast, they know the history of your parents' store in Five Points Mall. And it's a place I'd frequent all the time. Right? Like I'd go look at the Beckett, I'd want to see how much my cards are worth and just hang out because I collected basketball cards. And that was my thing. Back when cards were $1 or $1.25. But probably $1.25 for Skybox.
Now all the commons are about that price. Actually,
Okay.
no, I don't think they've changed.
Seriously? Are they worth anything now?
My dad thinks so.
Mm.
That's why they're in my parents' basement. So
Could you imagine like going back to your younger self, let's say 1998, and
Mhm.
saying, "Hey, I know you're too cool. Buy all the Pokemon cards you can."
Right?
Because imagine those version 1, even though we were too old for it, we did not care for it, the millions of dollars we would have right now.
I know. Like I would invest in that and not so much in Pogs.
Yeah, neither.
I have so many
Still?
Pogs. Yes.
We
Down
should play.
they're down in our I don't e Does anybody really know how to play Pogs? Because I don't. Like I think I have all the Pogs.
We
I have
should
no idea
play.
what I'm doing.
And by play, I mean make it up as we go.
Yeah,
Dude, that's a cool masher. Oh, I guess those pogs are mine now because I flipped them. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And then which will end up just us throwing the Pogs at each other, right?
yeah, yeah. So and then we can play that game where you do origami and make the football game. You know, the little triangle football game.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
that.
So in long, not short at this point, Josh and I are meant to be best friends, and we
Mhm.
have a lot that we have in common. So in previous shows, we've talked about a 1990s NBA,
Yeah.
and I've gone through my basketball cards, and Josh, you are a savant when it comes to 90s NBA. Like I know my stuff, you know everything. And so on my end, and I feel like we can continue this later, I have crafted like a short quiz
Okay.
of just kind of like stuff you should know, but I think there will be some tough questions in there that would be tough for me.
Okay. Yeah. This will be interesting because I also have a quiz or some questions for you. and this is not necessarily NBA basketball,
That's
but
too bad.
this is something that is more your thing. You're a movie guy, to say the
Yeah,
least,
sure.
and you love horror movies, which
I do.
if anybody knows me, I don't do horror movies. Specifically, my lazy eye doesn't do horror movies.
Which is really too bad. You're doing the world a disservice because I feel
I
like
know.
seeing you in a
Maybe
horror film. Yeah.
maybe you just have to attach like a selfie camera to me and go take me to the horror movies and just watch my eye go out of place.
Yep. Please.
The Josh Cam. Oh, it's the movie in it, in his perspective. Like, no, that's just his eye.
Yeah. You can watch the movie in his eye, but it's going to go a little sideways.
Yeah, can you move back? Can you move back? I can't see.
So Josh, for this bit, you shut us down whenever we need to shut down. This is your show, but
I'm very aware of that.
yeah, I'm like, I'll tell us when to be done.
It's funny because like I feel like we've just kind of gone back into like the other show kind of feel of things, and so
Yeah,
very
yeah,
comfortable.
yeah. It's what we do. So real quick, I have just some warm ups. I have a nicknames category,
Okay.
and I want to see. There are some really easy ones. So like this is just a practice round, but like the big dog. Who's the big dog in the NBA?
That could be kind of a trick question because there's two big dogs, but
The
it's
big dog.
DOG and DAW
DAWG is what I'm looking for.
because there's Antoine Carr
Hmm.
and Glenn Robinson.
It is Antoine Carr as the
Mm-hmm.
big dog.
Mm-hmm. The big dog.
Okay.
Do you remember when he'd get up off the bench and like the whole Delta Center would just start like barking?
Yeah. And he was always like average at best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you another simple one?
Okay.
The round mound of rebound.
Charles Barkley.
Okay. Are these just too easy?
Maybe.
Okay. Let me ask another. The beast from the east.
Beast from the East.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
I'll
if
just
I've
say
ever
this.
heard that
He's
one.
he's not a pretty man. And having been a 90s basketball fan when he was very prominent at this time, I've never heard this nickname before. Yeah, I think the internet made up this nickname.
Did you chat GPT this?
No, I didn't. Patrick Ewing was apparently called the beast from the east.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he doesn't really have like a nickname.
Yeah. I call him Butt His Face. He's a good basketball player, but his face.
He's got like very long arms.
Yeah. Really long arms.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to ask me
Yeah.
any
So let
warm
me.
up, any easy
So
ones?
let me. Well, I'm sure these are probably pretty easy for you because I got
I
them
hope so.
straight from Reader's Digest.
Wow. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. What is widely considered to be the first horror movie made?
Oh. Okay. Okay. And it's not one of the fantasy ones. I was thinking A Trip to the Moon, but that's not true.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first
Reader's
horror movie. Oh,
Digest?
no, I got it. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Actually, no.
Okay, what is it?
The House of the Devil, made in 1898.
Okay, wow. Schooled by Reader's Digest once again.
Yes. Well, okay, let's try this again. Here.
Okay.
What is the name of the summer camp where Friday the 13th takes place?
Camp Crystal Lake. Okay. I can handle
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
One more here.
Yeah.
What is the name of the possessed young girl in The Exorcist?
Reagan.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I think
Let me
we're
ask you a
good.
question.
Mhm.
This one's kind of a longer one, so bear with me.
Okay.
Led by Michael Jordan, the Bulls were NBA champions 3 years in a row from 1991 to 1993.
Mhm.
Then again from 96 to 98.
Mhm.
The 2 years in between were the seasons where Jordan had retired to play baseball. The same team won the NBA Finals both of those seasons, 94 and 95. What
Mhm.
was this team? And I have multiple choice if you need it.
No.
Okay, what is it?
Houston Rockets.
Okay. Well done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not challenging.
No, see, here's the thing. It's like I know that we had this conversation on the other show when we would record, but like my bathroom reader as a kid was the NBA encyclopedia. Like, I
Wow.
kid you not. Like, I would
Yeah.
sit there and I would read, and so like, and then I retained like the weirdest facts and numbers for me. Like birth dates. Like once you tell me your birthday, I'm like, okay, I got it. It's who I am.
Yeah. Here's
And
the thing.
so
You and I
it's
are the
weird.
same. We didn't remember anything important in school. We weren't great
No.
students, but man, if it's pointless information, keep it in
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Airtight.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I need to remember everything about the 1993-94 Seattle Supersonics, right? Like it's going to come useful sometime. Still
So
waiting.
let me ask you another question.
Mhm.
What player was not a part of the 1992 United States men's Olympic basketball team, better known as the Dream Team?
Okay.
Your options are Chris Mullin, Clyde Drexler, Scottie Pippen, Dominique Wilkins, or David Robinson.
It was Dominique.
Was it Dominique?
Mhm.
For sure?
Yep.
How do you know this? Is this a guess?
No, because he was on the Dream Team 2 in 94.
Was he really on the 94 one?
Mhm. I He say
Because I
what
know
I
Dominique was a very early 90s player. Oh,
Mhm.
which, by the way, what's his nickname?
The Human Highlight Film.
Of course, you know
Did
that.
you also know that he was drafted by the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, and they traded him for $1 million.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
mean, basically, he saved the franchise.
He saved the
Otherwise
Jazz?
Oh, yeah, otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to pay rent. Like, that's how bad off the Jazz were.
Okay. Wow.
So,
Okay, what do you got for me?
in what state does the Blair Witch Project take place?
Okay. Okay. It is Connecticut in Nope. Yeah, that's not right. Obviously. Hold on. I'm trying to think of the city. I don't know the state.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah,
Maryland.
obviously. Okay.
I mean, New England-ish. Is
Yeah.
Maryland like New England?
Yeah, and I could told you Burkittsville, but it's fine. Whatever. Fail. Okay, give me another one. I need
That's
to
okay.
win.
All right. What year was the first Saw movie released?
Okay, it was 2003. Was it Don't say 4. Was it 4? It was
It was
4.
4. Mhm.
I remember the day I saw it for some
Some of
reason.
these, yeah, some of these are they're interesting questions because I'm like, how would you remember that? But then
I
again,
I know I should have because I was up at Utah State. It was my second year, so it would have been 2004. My buddy and I were dating 2 girls that we later married, and we went and saw the Saw together, and
mhm.
the girls were hanging out. We came back to the apartment, and we acted out the movie for them. And we did all the roles and be like, okay, then I'm over here in this side of this side of the room, and I'm tied up to the wall, and I have to decide to to cut off my leg. Meanwhile, there's a flashback. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Love that. I love that.
Okay, let me ask you
Okay.
this. In the first round of the 1994 NBA playoffs, the 8th seed Denver Nuggets, led by Dikembe Mutombo, defeated which number 1 seed team for the first 8-1 upset in NBA playoffs history?
Do you remember how I said that I know too much information about the 1993-94 Seattle
There
Supersonics?
we are. Ding, ding. Okay.
That's too funny.
Okay. Which of the following players won the most Defensive Player of the Year awards in their career? Okay.
Okay.
Your options are, and this is defensive player, Dennis
Mhm.
Rodman, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Alonzo Mourning, or Dikembe Mutombo.
Believe it. I'm pretty sure it's Dikembe Mutombo. And I
Yeah?
think I want to say he won it 5 times.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. Wow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he won it. Yeah, because he won it with the Nuggets a couple times, and then the Hawks, and then the Sixers.
Okay.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay. I need some questions. I need a little bit of redemption here.
Okay, here we go. What is the name of the hotel Jack Torrance is hired to care for in The Shining?
Well, there's the Overlook or the Stanley, depending on how you look at it.
Is it
Well,
two
there's the
movie
real
or
hotel it's based off of. but the Stanley Hotel.
Is that so? Is the Stanley? So which one is the one in the movie?
Okay. The one in the movie is the Stanley.
Yep. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Give me another.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Which city were Alex and his classmates flying to when he had a disturbing premonition on the plane in Final Destination?
Paris, France.
Good job.
I love that movie so much.
Like, I don't do horror movies, but there's something about like Final Destination. Like, I can't sit through a whole thing, right? But there's just a part of me that's like, I'll cover my eyes, but I'm like, I gotta watch. I gotta
I
watch.
would love to just have a movie marathon of Final Destination, even the most recent one, and
Mm-hmm.
just come over and make you guys watch it just to watch you watch it. Because they're movies that are actually hilarious because they want to shock you. The
Mm-hmm.
bloodshed and the gore is so funny and so out of pocket that it is hilarious. And that sounds
Yeah.
wrong,
I know it does, right?
but I love
Especially
it
on
so
an
much.
episode where we're talking about Mormon housewives and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I got some questions for you. In 1990, do you know
Mhm.
1990 facts?
I should. Yeah.
What player set the single game assist record with 30 assists in one game? I can give you
Scott
options.
Skiles.
My gosh, I didn't even need to give you options. That's so annoying. You just knew that.
Yeah, it was against
Okay.
the Denver Nuggets too.
Wow. Oh
But
my
there's a
gosh.
reason why it was against the Denver Nuggets because those 1990 Denver Nuggets I were notoriously like horrible at defense. Like they
Yeah,
wouldn't play
they were.
defense.
Yeah.
So you had scores that were like in the 160s, 170s, which is basically today's
It's
NBA.
today because refs let you get away with murder. Okay, let me ask you another. Which 90s team is famous for the triangle offense?
The Bulls.
Okay, do tell.
Well, what do you mean? Like the
Yeah, who were the I guess the starting five or the three dominant players they would use?
well, it depends on the era, but like I mean, as far as Jordan, Pippen, Horace Grant,
Oh, yeah, Horace Grant. I forgot about that guy.
Luke Longley and the later ones. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously Dennis Rodman,
Hmm.
but Ron Harper,
Kerr? Was he
Steve Kerr, but
Steve Kerr?
I mean, he wasn't a starter. Tony Kukoc in the second three-peat. But yeah, that first, yeah, John Paxson, the first
You're
one,
just naming all the 12 players. It's fine.
Bill
Okay.
Cartwright.
Okay.
Man, Bill Cartwright had such a dirty mouth.
Did he?
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, he so did you ever go did you ever do the Rocky Mountain Review? Like go to the summer like
No.
rookie
Mm-mm.
thing when they had it? My friends and I back in 97, we got tickets for one of the days and we like sat front row, right? Right behind the bench. And the Bulls were playing one of the games and Bill Cartwright was their assistant coach. We learned swear words that day that I never knew existed.
And your parents like, yeah, go have fun at the game.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Anyway,
Okay, what do you
that's
got
just
for
an
me?
aside. Okay. Who played Carrie in 1976? Carrie.
Sissy Spacek.
Okay, that feels like a gimme.
Yeah, it's a gimme.
Ooh, here we go. Okay, the Losers Club
Yeah.
reunites after how many years in Chapter 2?
It's very precise. And I want to say the higher number, but I'm going to say 27.
Bingo.
Okay, I
Good
almost
job.
want to say 28. Okay.
Okay. Let's do one more here for you.
All right.
Make sure that you feel good about yourself.
Please.
All right. In The Purge, how long does the annual purge last?
12 hours.
Yep. Did you ever watch the TV series?
No, I never did. Was it any good?
Well, I think I could handle it because it's not as gory as like the
Yeah.
movies.
Right.
But yeah, it was like strangely addicting.
Hmm.
Weird. Like, again, I think it kind of, for me, because I don't like the supernatural, like horror movies or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's something that feels realistic, that could actually happen, like, there's something that draws me to that, and
Okay.
I as much as I don't like horror movies, I do kind of like feeling kinda scared in real situations, right? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what I don't know why, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
maybe
okay.
that's why probably why Cocaine Bear scared me so much.
Yeah, that's why. Listen, if
This
it
is
were to real,
doable.
Josh, if it were
Uh-huh.
real and you have 12 hours to commit any crime and it's
Mhm.
legal, what
Mhm.
would you do? Would you commit crime? Would you hide?
Head to Vegas? I don't know.
And do what?
Actually, no, I would everybody would go to Vegas.
Yeah, it'd be a dangerous place.
Well, yeah, because like, everybody would wanna steal from the casinos, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay, think about
uh
it. I always
yeah.
said that I would kiss everyone. I would kiss every girl. If all crime were legal, I would kiss every girl. Because it's illegal.
Dream big, Kent. Dream big.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions.
'Kay.
Which NBA team drafted Kobe Bryant?
The Charlotte Hornets.
Wow, I didn't know that before doing this.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was the summer that they got Shaq,
Mhm.
and they actually the Lakers traded Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant.
Of course you know this. Okay. Which 90s team had the nickname Bad Boys?
The Pistons, the Detroit Pistons.
Why is that? Why? What was the reason behind the name?
I'm very defensive team. I mean, Dennis Rodman was on the team,
Yeah.
but you had a lot of bruisers,
Mhm.
bad boys. Bill Laimbeer,
Yeah.
Rick Mahorn. So yeah, just
Did you ever play Bill Lambert's Combat Basketball back in the day? It's on the Sega Genesis. You
I
know how
don't think
back in the day there was always
yeah,
extreme sports games like Mutant
uh-huh.
League Football, Blades of Steel, that sort of thing. There was Bill Lambert's Combat Basketball.
I wanna say I did. I don't remember doing it because I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I did.
Yeah. It was
That would be
ridiculous and
fun.
bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
all of them were.
do you want one more question?
Yeah, let's do one more question, and then I'll do 2 more questions
Okay.
for you.
Which team had both the shortest player? Do you want their names or do you just want me to?
No, I could probably tell you the
Okay.
names. I
Okay.
could probably
Well, then
tell you
tell me
yeah.
after. Which team had both the shortest player and the tallest players? And there's two tallest players during the era of the 90s. And it's various years. It's not all at the same time. But
So
which team had the smallest and the tallest?
well, I was gonna say at the same time, the, Washington Bullets had Muggsy Bogues, and they had Manute Bol.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. And the other tall player is
It's probably George Mirasan.
you're exactly right.
Okay.
You're disgusting. I mean, we need to do something with this.
I know, like, there used to be this, TV show on, ESPN called Beat the Schwab, and it
Okay.
was their statistician that they employed, and they would have sports nuts that would, like, try to stump the Schwab,
Wow.
and, yeah, they'd win, like, I don't know, $10,000 or something like that, but I'm like, I dreamt of being on that
Yeah,
show.
of course you did.
It just kept me reading my encyclopedia.
You're like, finally, my powers have come to good use.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, if I could make some money off of this, that'd be great."
Yeah. Let's work on that somehow. I don't know how.
I know, like,
Somehow.
I'm there needs to be I don't know, I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily do a oh gosh, that'd be so boring if I did a podcast on that.
Well, listen, let's go to some trivia night where sports questions come up, these basketball specifically.
Well, most cruises will have, like, bar trivia,
Huh? Yeah.
and I actually did that when my first cruise that I ever did, which was also my sister's honeymoon, that's a whole other story.
Yeah. What?
I
Wait, you were there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another story for another time.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I spent their honeymoon night together. But they had a sports trivia thing, and I won both times that they had
Wow.
it. So,
Okay. Well done,
yeah,
sir.
I'm not gonna necessarily profess that I'm this all-knowing, like, sports fanatic, but it's like my niches are just ingrained in my body.
Okay. What do you got for me? Let's
Okay.
wrap it.
Alright, let's wrap this up. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, this could be a tricky one. What is the highest grossing horror movie of all time?
Oh my goodness. Holy. Okay, 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 okay. It is wow. It chapter 1.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I knew it had to be recent,
Mhm.
and I know they were bragging about how much they made. Okay.
All right, one last question. Let me make sure it's a good one. Ooh. Okay, you've gotta know this one. I feel like you need to know
Now I'm
this one.
nervous. Okay. Yeah.
In Halloween, Michael Myers' mask is actually a mask of which actor?
William Shatner.
Yes.
Okay. All
Good job.
right. That, yeah, I mean, good place to end.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I didn't know that, I would just give you my horror card. So,
William Shatner, he's a tool. Do you remember, like, okay, we hung out quite a
mhm,
bit that
mhm.
first FanX or
Yeah,
Comic-Con,
right.
right? And let's just say that first year, security wasn't very good, and we were able to get into the I don't know if you were able to, but I was able to get into the VIP lounge,
Okay,
like,
I did not
easily.
go in there. Yeah.
That's where I met Stan Lee and then William Shatner. I didn't get really close because he was yelling at, like, his assistant about how hot his coffee was, and I'm like, "Man, he's a" like, he just I'm like, "It's coffee, dude, like, put some more creamer in it, cool it down a bit," you know?
Wait
But
20 seconds.
yeah, but, I don't know. I mean, I guess, well, now he's in his 90s, so
Yeah,
he
he's
has
95. Yeah.
95, holy
Yeah.
cow.
I know.
Yeah, because like, even then, though, like, that was what, 15 years
Yeah, it was
ago-ish?
13 years ago.
Yeah, 13 years ago. So, he was in his 80s, he should have known better, but it's just like, I don't know, celebrities like that, like, who are just full of themselves, it's like, "Alright, whatever, dude." Like, you're a tool, but
Dude,
alright.
that's a good way to end it.
Yeah, but
I
you know
love it.
what, you listeners? You're not tools. You are the heartbeat of this. How do you stop this?
You don't.